So when you're doing any development project, I think the construction portion of the deal is the place where the overruns occur.
Sure. So knowing that it's generally the most complicated part of a project, how do you prepare for potential cost overruns and how do you mitigate that?
Well, when you are working with your general contractor, you want to work very closely with them and try to look at all of the bids that they're getting on every component of the project.
From all the subcontractors?
From all the subcontractors, right? framing contractors, masonry, electrical, plumbing,
Right,
HVAC,
so
like every
everything.
one of them, right?
Mhm.
You know, there are many. And then get a lot of bids, right? So you kind of like have a handle on the costs, but then there are things that are just outside of your control. You can't control tariffs,
Sure.
right? And you can't control the 2019 pandemic.
Sure.
Right?
Delays.
When that happened, there was a supply chain issue,
Mhm.
and that made costs go up in construction. You know, we had that issue at that time, right?
Mhm.
And there was nothing you can do about it. So when we went through that moment, luckily, what happened was, as construction costs were rising, rents were rising at the same time, and the cost of housing was rising. So we were able to offset that, those construction costs with the revenue that came in from the end product.
Sure. But this is also something that, you think about early on when potentially taking a project and, when you're doing the performance stuff, you try to factor in a little bit of wiggle room, I imagine, for something like
Sure,
this.
you build on a contingency. Usually it's about 10%.
Mhm.
You build a cushion in, but sometimes it just goes over, and it happens.
Sure.
But another way to mitigate it, and the way we solve that problem sometimes, is if that budget goes way overboard, sometimes we self-perform the project. And what that means is we, as the developer, can form a general construction company and we could GC our own project.
Mhm.
And luckily for us, I come from a construction background,
Yeah.
and I'm able to general contract the subs directly and cut out the general contractor,
Sure.
which will give me more control. And then the fee that I would have paid to another general contractor, it will help me bring down the cost, because that fee is usually very large.
Sure.